Let us tell you a story, one that feels like it could be happening right next door, in the bustling heart of New York City. The city, where the skyline towers and dreams are built, is home to millions of stories. But this one belongs to Mary, a woman whose strength and resilience turned a life of uncertainty into one of self-reliance. Mary had always been a woman of quiet strength. She spent her early years in Brooklyn, raising her only daughter while balancing a job at a small bookstore near Central Park. Life wasn't easy, but Mary never complained. Her husband, George, had passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack when Mary was in her late 40s. It was sudden, and it shattered the life they had built together. George had been the steady provider, working as a construction manager, and his income had kept their family afloat. After his passing, the weight of survival fell squarely on Mary's shoulders. At first, she was overwhelmed. They hadn't prepared much for the future. George's life insurance payout was modest, and without a pension, Mary knew she had to be careful. She had some savings, but with the cost of living in New York City, she feared that it wouldn't last long. The rent on their modest apartment was already straining her budget. Mary's daughter, Emma, had just turned 22 and was finishing her studies at a local college. Emma was her light, her reason to keep pushing forward, but Mary didn't want to burden her. Emma had her own dreams, her own future to build. One evening, as Mary sat alone in her kitchen, the city lights twinkling outside her window, she realized she needed to make a decision. "I couldn't keep waiting for things to get better on their own," she later shared. "I had to take control of my future, no matter how scary it seemed." Mary decided to rent out the apartment she had shared with George. The idea of leaving the home they had built together hurt her deeply, but practicality overruled sentimentality. "It wasn't easy, but I had to think about what was best in the long run. Sentimental value wouldn't pay the rent," she explained with a rueful smile. With the rental income, she could afford a smaller, more affordable apartment in Queens and still have something left to save. But it wasn't just the apartment that weighed on her. Emma had started working part-time while studying and offered to help with the bills. Mary, however, couldn't bear the thought of taking money from her daughter. "I told her that I had to figure it out on my own. She had her whole life ahead of her, and I didn't want her starting out with the weight of my struggles on her shoulders." Mary's new apartment was a far cry from the cozy home she had known, but she made it her own. Every piece of furniture, every corner of the room, was chosen with care, symbolizing a fresh start. Yet, the uncertainty remained. She had no pension, no substantial savings, and no one to rely on. It was during this time that Mary began to think about what it meant to rely on oneself. In the city that never sleeps, she found herself waking up early every day, taking long walks through the streets and thinking about her future. "I realized that the only person I could truly depend on was myself," she said, her voice steady. "And once I accepted that, I felt a kind of strength I hadn't known before." Mary had always loved books, and the quiet little bookstore where she worked became her solace. Over time, she built connections with the regular customers, many of whom came not just for books but for conversation. It was there that Mary met Joseph, a man in his early 60s who often came by to browse but stayed for the company. They struck up a friendship, bonded by their love for literature, and shared stories of the challenges they had faced in life. Joseph had been through his own struggles, having lost his wife years earlier, and together they found comfort in each other's company. One day, Joseph told her about a job opportunity at a nearby museum. They were looking for someone to manage the small cafe inside, and he thought Mary would be perfect for the role. "You've got the warmth and strength people need when they come in for a break from the city," he had told her with a smile. At first, Mary was hesitant. "I hadn't considered changing jobs at my age," she admitted, "but something about the idea appealed to me. It felt like a chance to reinvent myself, to take another step toward the life I wanted." She took the leap. Working at the museum cafe was a breath of fresh air. The mornings were quiet, filled with the soft hum of conversation and the clinking of coffee cups. But the afternoons were busy, bustling with tourists and locals alike. Mary found herself thriving in the environment, enjoying the interactions and the steady pace of the work. She was earning more than she had at the bookstore, and for the first time in years, she started to feel secure. But life, as it often does, threw Mary another curveball. Emma had fallen in love and was planning to move to California with her fiancé. When she told her mother the news, Mary felt a mix of pride and sadness. "I was happy for her, of course," she said, "but it meant I was really on my own now. No family nearby, just me." The thought was daunting at first. The idea of growing old alone in a city as vast and indifferent as New York weighed heavily on her. But then, as she sat by the window of her new apartment, watching the sun set over the skyline, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. "I realized that I was stronger than I had ever given myself credit for," Mary reflected. "I had made it this far, and I wasn't going to stop now." Mary's story is one of resilience, of finding strength when life seemed to offer none. She had lost her husband, navigated financial uncertainty, and faced the loneliness that comes with watching her daughter move away. But through it all, she discovered that the only person she truly needed to rely on was herself. Today, Mary still lives in her small apartment in Queens. She works at the museum cafe and spends her weekends volunteering at a local shelter, offering comfort and conversation to those who need it most. "I've learned that life doesn't always go the way you plan," she says, her eyes bright with wisdom. "But as long as you have the strength to stand on your own, you'll be just fine." Her story resonates deeply because it reminds us all that self-reliance isn't about being alone. It's about finding strength within, even when the world feels like it's crumbling around you. Mary's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, and her message is clear. Don't wait for someone else to save you. Learn to save yourself, and you'll find that life has a way of working itself out. Mary's story is far from the only one of an elder who, later in life, found themselves navigating the uncertainties and difficulties that life so often brings. Many people, as they grow older, are forced to confront unexpected losses and changes. It's in those very moments, though, that we often discover profound truths about ourselves and the world around us. As we look deeper into this story, we uncover life lessons that resonate universally, offering guidance not just for those in their later years, but for anyone who faces unforeseen circumstances. One of the most striking realizations is that life never unfolds exactly as we expect it to. We make plans, set goals, and find comfort in the routine of our daily lives. But as much as we may try to prepare, there's no way to predict the twists and turns life will throw our way. Whether it's the sudden loss of a loved one, financial setbacks, or a major life change, we all must come to terms with the fact that control is often an illusion. What truly matters is our ability to adapt when things don't go according to plan. It's not the disruption itself that defines us, but how we respond to it. What we also learn from this story, it is the importance of fostering inner strength. We live in a world where we often lean on others for support, and while it's vital to have loved ones around us, there's an undeniable truth that becomes clear with age. No one else can carry the weight of our lives for us. Developing self-reliance is about recognizing that while family and friends may offer love and companionship, it is ultimately up to us to build the foundation upon which we stand. True resilience comes from within, and learning to trust our own strength is one of the most empowering gifts we can give ourselves. Yet, alongside the lesson of self-reliance, there's a balancing truth. We are not meant to go through life entirely on our own. Genuine connections with others enrich our experiences and provide us with comfort during difficult times. In Mary's case, the friendship she found with Joseph served as a reminder that even in moments of hardship, the kindness of others can uplift us. Meaningful relationships help us stay grounded, but they don't replace the self-reliance we've worked to build. Instead, they complement it, offering support when we need it most. One of the most essential lessons from this journey is about the nature of resilience. When faced with overwhelming challenges, it's easy to feel like giving up, but resilience isn't about being impervious to hardship. It's about finding a way to keep moving forward, even when the road is steep and uncertain. Every small decision Mary made, from renting out her home to starting a new job, was an act of resilience. It shows us that resilience isn't found in grand gestures. It's built through everyday actions, through perseverance when life becomes overwhelming. What stands out is how this story speaks to the beauty of embracing change. Often we resist it, holding on to what's familiar because it feels safe. But the reality is, change is inevitable. And it's through accepting it that we grow. The decisions to downsize her living arrangements, adjust her lifestyle, and step into a new environment were all acts of courage that allowed her to begin a new chapter in life. It's a powerful reminder to all of us that by embracing change, we open ourselves up to opportunities that we might never have imagined. Next, the necessity of letting go of the past. We often cling to memories, places, and routines that bring us comfort, but doing so can prevent us from moving forward. In this narrative, we see how difficult it can be to release attachments to what was once familiar. Yet by doing so, we create the space for something new to take root. It's not about forgetting what once was, but about recognizing that our lives must continue to evolve, even when it feels painful to let go. Another takeaway from this journey is the importance of making practical decisions. Life is full of emotion, and it's easy to get caught up in how we feel, but sometimes we need to step back and approach situations with logic and practicality. Whether it's about finances, living arrangements, or personal responsibilities, making practical choices allows us to stay grounded in reality. It's not about ignoring emotions. Rather, it's about finding balance. When we make decisions that are rooted in practicality, we create a foundation for long-term stability. And yes, the value of setting realistic expectations when it comes to our relationships with others. It's natural to expect the people in our lives to offer support, but we must also understand that they have their own lives, challenges, and paths to follow. Sometimes, the greatest gift we can give those we love is the freedom to live their own lives without feeling burdened by our expectations. When we adjust our perspective and accept that others cannot always be there for us in the ways we hope, we free ourselves from potential disappointment and allow those relationships to flourish in a healthier way. What is particularly moving in this journey is the discovery that purpose can be found at any stage in life. It's easy to feel like we've missed our chance to start something new as we grow older, but the reality is that purpose evolves. Whether through a new job, a new hobby, or a newfound connection, we can always find meaning in our days. Purpose isn't something reserved for the young. It's something we can cultivate at every point in our lives. The key is staying open to new experiences and opportunities, even when they seem to arrive at the most unexpected times. There's also a profound lesson about humility in this story. The pursuit of a simple, contented life is often more fulfilling than chasing after wealth or status. In a world that constantly encourages us to want more, to achieve more, we can easily lose sight of what truly brings us peace. Humility is about recognizing that we don't need extravagant things to feel satisfied. Sometimes, living with what is enough is the most liberating decision we can make. It allows us to focus on what truly matters: our well-being, our relationships, and the life we've built for ourselves. At the same time, this story teaches us that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. To admit that we need help, to acknowledge when we are struggling, requires immense courage. Vulnerability allows us to be honest with ourselves and others, and in doing so, it opens the door to healing and support. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we need to be strong all the time, but true strength often comes from admitting when we are not. By embracing vulnerability, we invite others to share in our journey and offer their strength when we need it most. As we look deeper into this story, we also see the importance of facing the unknown with a sense of faith in our own ability to adapt. The future is always uncertain, and fear is a natural response to the unknown. However, what defines us is not the fear itself, but how we choose to confront it. Even when we don't know what lies ahead, we can take small steps forward, trusting that we have the resilience and resourcefulness to handle whatever comes our way. Simplicity is another theme that emerges from this journey. In a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more possessions, more success, more recognition, it's easy to lose sight of the value of a simple, contented life. We don't need extravagant homes or flashy achievements to feel fulfilled. Often, it's the simplest pleasures, a stable home, a meaningful conversation, a sense of purpose that bring us the deepest satisfaction. Simplicity allows us to focus on what truly matters, and it frees us from the pressure of trying to meet society's expectations. No matter how alone we may feel, there are always connections to be made. Life has a way of surprising us with new opportunities for friendship, companionship, and meaning, even when we least expect it. We may lose people along the way, but we are never truly alone. Whether it's through a new friendship, a supportive community, or even a quiet moment of reflection, life has a way of bringing us the support we need just when we think we can't go on. Life is about navigating the unexpected, finding strength in ourselves, and embracing the possibility of new beginnings at every stage. It's not about having all the answers or avoiding hardship. It's about finding meaning, purpose, and connection in the midst of it all. With each challenge we face, we grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of living a life that is truly our own. Then we'll share with you 5 essential keys that will guide you toward living a happy, fulfilling life while ensuring that you're financially secure as you grow older. These aren't just tips, they're powerful principles grounded in both psychology and practical experience that will help shape not only your financial future, but also your overall well-being. We're going to break down each key, showing how they build on one another to create a strong foundation for happiness and peace of mind in your later years. The first key to focus on is developing a mindset of financial independence and responsibility. This is about taking control of your financial life early on, understanding that no one else can secure your future for you. It starts with mastering the basics: budgeting, saving, and making smart choices with your money.
As we move through life, the importance of learning how to manage money cannot be overstated. We need to cultivate a mindset where we see financial responsibility not as a burden, but as a means of empowerment. It's about recognizing that every dollar saved or invested today is building toward the security we'll need later. Next, let's discuss the significance of creating multiple streams of income. In today's ever-changing world, depending on a single source of income can leave us vulnerable. Whether through investments, real estate, part-time endeavors, or even side hustles, diversifying how we earn money ensures we aren't left struggling if one stream dries up. Diversification isn't just about money. It's about safeguarding our future, making sure that no matter what changes happen in the economy or in our careers, we have options. The key is to start exploring these opportunities now so they can grow into something meaningful over time. The third key revolves around living below your means and being mindful of your spending habits. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to want more. But the truth is, happiness doesn't come from material things. When we learn to spend wisely, prioritizing needs over wants and focusing on long-term satisfaction rather than instant gratification, we begin to see real financial growth. This doesn't mean depriving ourselves. It means making intentional decisions that align with our bigger goals. Learning how to live within our means not only keeps us financially stable but also reduces stress, allowing us to enjoy life without the constant worry of debt. Now, let's turn our attention to the fourth key, which is investing in your health as a priority. This is something we often overlook when we're younger, but as we age, the connection between health and happiness becomes undeniable. Taking care of our bodies and minds is an investment that pays off in every aspect of our lives. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and mental well-being contribute not only to a longer life, but to a richer, more active one. It's important to remember that good health reduces medical expenses later on and allows us to enjoy the wealth we've worked so hard to accumulate. Without health, financial stability means little. The fifth and final key is planning for retirement early and consistently. Too many people wait until it feels urgent to think about retirement, but the real magic happens when we start planning decades in advance. Even small, regular contributions to retirement funds add up over time, thanks to the power of compounding interest. The sooner we start, the easier it becomes to reach our financial goals without feeling overwhelmed. Planning for retirement isn't just about money. It's about envisioning the kind of life we want to lead in our later years and taking actionable steps to make that vision a reality. As we explore these keys, it's important to understand that they work best when applied together. Financial independence gives us the foundation to live life on our own terms. It's about freeing ourselves from financial stress so that we can focus on what truly matters. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing our passions, or simply enjoying life's quieter moments. When we take control of our finances early, we avoid the trap of relying on others or on uncertain systems to support us in our later years. At the same time, multiple streams of income serve as a safety net. Life is unpredictable. Jobs change, markets fluctuate, and health can be fragile. By diversifying our income sources, we create flexibility and security. This doesn't just provide financial stability, it also gives us peace of mind. Knowing we have options, whether it's through rental income, investments, or other ventures, empowers us to navigate life's challenges with greater confidence. We can weather storms that might otherwise derail our plans. Living below our means, on the other hand, is about cultivating contentment and avoiding the cycle of constantly wanting more. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, of believing that happiness comes from buying the next new thing. But true happiness, as we've seen time and time again, comes from the freedom that financial stability brings. When we live within our means, we're able to save more, invest wisely, and prepare for the future. It's about making choices today that allow us to enjoy life tomorrow without the burden of debt or financial strain. Let's not forget the importance of health in all of this. Wealth means little if we're not healthy enough to enjoy it. By investing in our physical and mental well-being, we ensure that we're able to live life to the fullest, no matter our age. It's about creating habits that support a long, active, and fulfilling life. Whether that's through regular exercise, a balanced diet, or simply managing stress in healthy ways. When we take care of our health, we're also investing in our future happiness. And when we consider retirement planning, it's more than just numbers and accounts. It's about creating the freedom to choose how we want to spend the later years of our lives. Whether it's traveling, spending time with family, or pursuing new interests, retirement planning allows us to create the life we want. The earlier we start, the more flexibility we'll have when we're ready to step back from work. Retirement should be something we look forward to, not something we fear. Planning early gives us that confidence. Each of these keys reinforces the others, creating a life of security, happiness, and purpose. Financial independence allows us to make decisions based on what we want, not what we need to survive. Multiple streams of income give us the flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. Living below our means frees up resources to save and invest, reducing financial stress. Investing in health ensures that we're able to enjoy life for years to come. And planning for retirement gives us a clear direction for the future, allowing us to step into the later years of our life with confidence and joy. These principles aren't just for when we're older. They're habits that, when adopted early, will serve us throughout our entire lives. They give us the tools to live with intention, to make choices that align with our values, and to build a future that's not just financially secure, but emotionally and physically fulfilling. By focusing on these keys now, we can ensure that when the time comes to enjoy the fruits of our labor, we'll be ready to do so with peace of mind and happiness in our hearts. In the end, a happy and financially secure life doesn't happen by accident. It's built step by step, decision by decision. By adopting these 5 keys, we not only prepare ourselves for the future, but create a life that's rich with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. So let's embrace these principles, knowing that the actions we take today are paving the way for a brighter, more secure tomorrow. As we bring this discussion to a close, it's clear that the journey to a happy life and financial security, especially as we grow older, is built on mindful decisions and a commitment to long-term well-being. The 5 keys we've explored: financial independence, multiple streams of income, living within our means, prioritizing health, and planning for retirement, are not just individual steps, but interconnected habits that strengthen each other. They provide a roadmap, one that ensures we are not only financially prepared, but emotionally and physically equipped to enjoy our later years with peace and joy. Remember, it's never too early or too late to start applying these principles in your own life. Every choice we make today sets the foundation for the life we'll experience tomorrow. So take the time to reflect on your current habits and consider how you can begin implementing these keys to shape a future that aligns with your vision of happiness and security. Whether you're just starting out or already thinking about retirement, there's always room to grow, adjust, and strengthen the path you're on. Your future self will thank you for the actions you take now. We'd love to hear from you. What steps are you already taking, or what changes are you planning to make after watching this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, Share it with others who might benefit from these insights. And follow our channel for more content that can help guide you toward a life filled with purpose, peace, and financial well-being. Stay connected, and we'll continue to provide valuable tools and tips for your personal and financial growth. Thank you, and see you next time.